Good morning. This is Lisa Edwards. I'm calling to connect Dr. Drummond with Mo Quick.
This is Mo Quick. Thank you.
Hi. Let me grab him really quick. Okay, Dr. Drummond, you're on with Mo Quick from 107.9.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Drummond. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. You ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, coming down in 3, 2, 1. Yes, this is Mo Quick for the Morning Hustle on Hot 107.9 Atlanta. Gorgeous. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. I know a lot of you all thought last year in April, COVID would be gone. We wouldn't hear nothing more about it. You thought it was just going to blow over and it was all going to be okay. Well, here in 2021, they telling you to wear 2 masks. That's just how crazy it is, Lord. And a lot of y'all so afraid of this vaccine, honey. So I said, you know what? Before I put superstitions into the world and fill you guys with myths, let's get a doctor on the phone. I have Dr. Drummond. Drummond.
Yes, Drummond. That's it.
Is it Drummond or Drummond?
It's Drummond.
Okay, I have Dr. Robert Drummond, MD, PhD. You've seen him on Married to Medicine. I mean, he's got so much going on, and he's going to tell us what we should be doing with our lives, because you're going to help us out with the insecurities we have with this vaccine, right?
That's the plan, yes.
Or are you telling us not to take it?
I'm not telling you that at all. Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying.
So in your professional opinion, why do you think we're so hesitant? Why don't we trust this vaccine? And of course, by us, I mean Black people.
So I think that one of the things that I like to do is acknowledge some of the very real things that we deal with as Black Americans, specifically when it comes to medicine and it comes to the medical community. We have a long-standing, I guess you would say, distrust that's actually based on, our reality and our experiences, right? And
Right.
so, I start off by acknowledging we don't have to go back to, experiments done on slaves without anesthesia, right? That's how gynecology, the word of gynecology was formed. I don't have to go back to, the Tuskegee experiment of 40 years worth of experiments or
Yup, can't leave them
talk
out.
about Henry Lacks, right? Or Henrietta Lacks. I don't have to talk about that. I can go back 5 years and talk about studies that have shown that racism in medicine still.
Dr. Drummond, you are not making your case, sir.
But I have to be honest, though. I have to be honest because I have to start off by saying I acknowledge the hesitancy. But then I go from there and I say, well, let's talk about what we've done since then. Because of what we experienced during the Tuskegee experiments, they now have what we call institutional review boards that review every single study that comes out, every vaccine, any type of research study. And that happened directly as a result of the outcry from the Tuskegee experiments. And so
So are we supposed to hang ourselves to dry for everyone else's betterment?
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not one of those things where there's a different version of the vaccine that they're giving to Blacks that they're not giving to everybody else. They're giving the same vaccine to every person. I like to tell people, I like to ask people another question.
Mhm.
I say, what if this entire misinformation campaign was designed for us to not take the vaccine?
Don't play devil's advocate.
No, I'm definitely playing devil's advocate because the same people that's pumping out the misinformation is the same people that's lining up that's taking this vaccine, right? So if you look at the number of people that say they are going to take the vaccine, I mean, the studies show 83% of Asian Americans say they're going to take it. 63% of Caucasian Americans say they're going to take it. And we're down at 40%. So why is it that if that misinformation is out there, and why is that misinformation resonating with us so well? So what I've been trying to do is just counter the misinformation with information. That's it.
Mm.
That's my whole thing. It's not about necessarily forcing people to take the vaccine, which I'm not in favor of. It's not about convicting them to take one version or another. My videos and some of the stuff that I've been doing in terms of teaching on social media is really just about educating and informing. That's it.
Okay, so can I ask you a question then? Speaking of information, do you know what's in the vaccine?
Yeah. So, people ask me, so it depends on which vaccine we're talking about, right? So if we're talking about the Moderna vaccine, there's basically four things that's in the vaccine, okay? Four, I guess you would say substances, all right? One of
Okay.
them is fat. You need fats, we call them lipids. You need that to kind of create, it's almost like a little mini cell to kind of hold everything in place. The other thing is what we call synthetic modified mRNA. Okay, so that's a strand of nucleotides, A's, T's, U's, and G's, a strand of nucleotides that basically codes for the spike protein for the virus. So there's no virus that's in there. Okay, it's just
So you
coding.
got fat, we got protein. What else?
No, we got fat and we got the mRNA. Okay, and then the other thing is basically sucrose, so sugar. Okay, and so that's part that's in there to kind of keep everything stabilized. And then there's these various salts that are in there. The salts can be, they've got these long names that nobody would ever remember. But those are the four main things that are there. All right.
Okay.
What I'd like to tell everyone that is not in there's no dead baby cells. There's no fluorescent tags that are going to be able to shine over you when you go to the club and say, "Yep, you got the vaccine."
All right.
There's none of that. No, but I hear that. That's part of the information that's out
Are you
there.
serious?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what do you have to say about, there's crazy videos online. People have already taken this vaccine. One woman, her whole half of her face was like dead. Like she could not feel, she couldn't move it. It's like half of her face had MS and the other half didn't.
So not MS. She had Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is basically due to inflammation of the facial nerve. Okay, and so it's one side of the face. It looks like a stroke, but it's not a stroke. But Bell's palsy exists. It exists. It happens every day. It happened before the vaccines were created. It's going to continue to happen. We were not taking the vaccine.
But she said it happened because of the vaccine.
And that's unfortunate that she said that. If we know that Bell's palsy happens every day, and literally 127 people get it every day, I have family members that woke up one morning and their face looked like that, and that was 3 years ago, and they had nothing to do with the vaccine.
No, but did you hear me? There's a woman who came out, said she's a nurse. They made her take the vaccine. She took it, and as a result of that, she's crying on social media saying, now half of my face is drooping. Half of her face is drooping.
3 C's. You know what the 3 C's are?
Tell me.
Correlation, causation, and coincidence, and they are not the same. And so what we do in medical science is we look at any type of reaction, and we try to figure out, is it correlation, is it causation, or is it coincidence? And we do that by a very, very, very complicated statistical analysis of how often something happens in the general population, how often it happens in a particular subset. So let's say if we're talking about people that get vaccines, is it happening at a certain point afterwards, a day afterwards, 3 days afterwards, 5 days afterwards, 2 weeks afterwards. And then we look and see, is there any differences between the normal population and when it's happening and in this particular subset? And we don't see that. We don't see any difference. We see that this is happening at a rate that's coincidental with the same rate that it happens every single day. So my point is, what a lot of people don't understand is that this is coincidence / correlation. It's not causation. Because honestly, she was going to wake up that morning and in the scheme of her life, she was going to wake up that morning and get Bell's palsy.
What?
That's just what happens. Just again, if you're going to give 100 million people a vaccine, what was going to happen to them, regardless of the vaccine in their life, it's still going to happen. You can't blame everything that happens to them after that vaccine on the vaccine. That's just not the way it works. That's not causation. That's just not how it goes. It just happens that it's correlating to the time when they got something, right? So if 3 other things that happen, we're not seeing Bell's palsy happen at a rate of, how many people have reported this? They're actually not even talking about it anymore because it happened in a few cases. We have vaccinated, we've given over 65 million vaccines at this point. Do we have 1 million cases of Bell's palsy? Do we have 100,000? Do we have 1,000? Do we even have 100? The answer is no. So that's not causation is my point. And again, you have to understand those 3 C's. And that's what we do in medical research, is have a very good understanding of coincidence, causation, and correlation.
Okay, I can truly understand that, and I can actually appreciate it. You're definitely hitting us with some facts, clearing up some of these myths, because social media, Chad, they will make you believe the world, honey. So, say it again.
I said, I already know. And that's what I'm saying. Also, the other thing, you don't have little microchips implanted in you that are going to be able to track your technology. It's not associated with 5G. That you don't use a 5G phone and get, SARS-CoV-2 infection. These are the myths that are out there, and they're just, unfortunately, it's misinformation, and it causes people to have doubts about everything. And unfortunately, it causes them to doubt the one thing that's going to basically keep us and get us through this pandemic, which is the vaccine.
Okay, I can definitely continue to appreciate that. Now, I don't know about my phone. I know they listening to me, but the vaccine, I might consider it. I don't know. I appreciate you for talking to us, Dr. Robert Drummond. We really, really appreciate this information. As you know, our community, we need information, and we believe a lot of stuff that probably is not all the way true. Where can we follow you or get any more insight on everything that you're doing?
So please, I want you to go to Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Robert Drummond. You can put in the hashtag Dr. D. I have a YouTube page, Robert Drummond, MD, PhD. I have a Facebook page. So you can find me all over social media. Put in Robert Drummond, MD, PhD. You'll find me. And just watch some videos and learn. That's all I'm asking. I'm not telling anyone I want you to do this or that other than get the information and make an informed decision. That's it.
You heard him. Please, Atlanta Gorgeous, just get the information. I, too, don't want to tell you how to move, but I will say at the very least, just find out what's really going on and don't listen to your friends. Y'all stop listening to your friends. Listen, so much more coming up with The Morning Hustle. This is Mo Quick for The Morning Hustle right here on Hot 107.9. Thank you, Dr. Drummond. We appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.